Leigh from Bloodied Studio again, and today we've got a pretty awesome report. I'm joined by my good friend Rich.
G'day.
So Rich is my most regular opponent. It's where I do a lot of my play testing for things, and tonight I'm bringing my list that I'm taking to No Retreat. So this is the first time we get to play with this list. I've been playing around with a few iterations of it. I've taken a few months getting used to it, but now we're finally ready to show it and give it a real test. So tonight it's going to be Astra Militarum with some pretty nasty stuff, which we'll get at soon, taking on Death Guard with a Nurgle Demons detachment. So pretty much over the last few months, we've been playtesting a list and nutting a few things out. So Dirk, who's been on the channel, I came up with the initial concept of the list with him. And then after that, basically, I've been playtesting, trying a few little things out, and Rich has been instrumental in helping me figure out this list. So originally I was running Academius with him with the list. It wasn't working all that well, was it?
Not really. Didn't do a lot of work, didn't get us points back.
Yeah, so it was just 100 points of doing nothing. So we decided to move the points elsewhere, and it sort of worked. So Rich has been playing a lot of Blood Angel Flesh Terrors, which we'll hopefully get on the channel sometime in the future soon. Which, who painted them?
You did, mate.
So it's a super cool army. I love that army, and yeah, it'd be really good to see him. Behind the camera, Rick, if you see his head pop around now, just did a little spewy face because he runs Lamented, so it's all Blood Angel crap. So yeah, basically, it's been a really long journey to get to the list to where I want it to be. It's been a lot of play testing, it's been a lot of tweaking, it's been a lot of thinking. Usually at the end of the night when I've been painting, I'm sitting in my shower and I'm mostly just thinking about my list and you know, how I can actually make it work and how I can make it perform. And how's it performed the last two times?
Mate, you've taught me a lot of lessons. I've just been constantly smashed. I've had nights that have been absolutely totaled, so I've just got a whole lot of infantry with a super heavy tank tonight, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah, so basically, I might as well go over my list so we can talk about it. So my list basically involves, I've got the Nurgle Demon Prince, which we've already seen, and he's got the separating plate, so we have to pay for our command points relics beforehand. And he's got the Revoltingly Resilient Warlord trait, so basically he's got a 2-up save with a 4-up Disgustingly Resilient, so that way he's going to be living, which is great. Then we've also got Typhus, so he's going to be buffing the Poxwalkers as well. And that pretty much fills out the... no, I've also got a Chaos Lord in there as well, so he's giving some rerolls on the Plague Burst Crawlers. So they're my 3 HQs for the Death Guard battalion. Then I've got 2 units of 14 Poxwalkers, keeping it pretty themey. And then I've also got a unit of 14 Cultists, keeping it pretty themey there as well. Then I've also got, what else have I got in that list? I've got the 3 Plague Burst Crawlers with Entropy Cannons, Plague Mortars and the Heavy Sluggers. And then I've also got the 2 Fetid Bloat Drones as well. I'm actually just looking at my army just over there, if people can see me myself. So that pretty much nuts out the Death Guard battalion. And then I've also got a Nurgle Demon detachment, which has the Poxbringer. It's got 3 squads of 3 Nurglings, and then it's got a squad of Plague Drones. So basically how this list works is I pretty much use my Nurglings to get that board control early on. All the objectives are already out there. I've got them camping on them pretty much turn 1 to begin with, so I'm scoring points there if I pull those in the Maelstrom. Then I've got all my Poxwalkers and Cultists and all that sort of stuff sits basically mid-board as well, and I sort of use that to counter deploy my opponent. And then the last thing I try to generally tend to deploy is the Plague Burst Crawlers. So they're the things that are going to be hitting the enemy armour, or they're my sort of damage output from early on. So I just need to see where I can actually place those. So hence why they deploy last usually. And then I've also got a very, very fast contingent of the 2 Fetid Bloat Drones with the Plague Spitters, because they are just ace.
They always do quite a lot of damage.
And they are very tough. Then I've also got the Plague Drones with them. Now the Plague Drones are fantastic to actually run. So they form part of the Nurgle Demon detachment. And they also fly forward with the Demon Prince. So I've got this really fast group that just speeds forward, and that can actually start tying up tanks and all this other stuff. So turn 2, they're in the enemy's line. So especially for such a slow army, I'm in there, I'm doing stuff straight away. So the army is scoring points from turn 1. It's got the board control, it's got bodies that are resilient, and it's got the damage output as well. So it plays really well. There's a few clutch stratagems I play as well, which you'll probably see in the game operating as well, how I can sort of regenerate my army back too. So the thing about my army is that it comes back to life, and in a really sneaky way as well. So hopefully it'll happen in this game. It's happened in the last 2 games we've played.
Yeah, you've got a few tricks. You've done very well with it and getting the troops back. So.
Yes, so we'll hopefully see it in another game. So what are you bringing tonight?
So I've got the Stormlord Super Heavy Auxiliary Tank, which is a Titan. First time I played with that, so I'm pretty excited to get it on the table. Beautiful model. Then I've basically got a whole lot of guardsmen, 60 infantry there, pretty much nothing else, just bare bones. I had 7 points left over, so I gave 1 unit of flame. I thought I'd splash out a little bit.
As you do.
A unit of veterans with 3 plasma guns. I've got 3 scout sentinels, tank commander, purely because I need an HQ slot, 1 platoon commander and a Primaris Psyker, a Basilisk and a Manicore, and 3 a unit of Ogrins just for giggles really, and a unit of Rattlings again to put out an elite spot. So pretty excited. It's going to take me a while to move the models around the board, or maybe being Cadians, they don't want to move anyway. So we'll just see how we go with that. So I learnt you got it to kill the Death Guard, you got to shoot them, but even that doesn't always work.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it actually comes down to playing the mission. Like the last game I had against Dirk, which was it's such a really fun game. Like he was outscoring me on the points. He was doing so well in that game, but I think one of the things I did well was goaded him into continually trying to get points. And he sort of forgot about destroying my army, and I think that's what got me over the edge in the end, because I thought, you know what, the only way I can win is through tabling him. The good thing about your army, because it's not very mobile, is that I should hopefully get the Maelstrom and Eternal War points, and really start to do that. So the mission we'll play tonight is the first round mission from No Retreat 7. I am going to pull that up on my phone now. So basically, with all these missions, you've got a primary, you've got a secondary, and then you've got the last one, which is some sort of tertiary. So game 1, the primary is retrieval, secondary is cleanse and capture, and then the tertiary is slay warlord, line breaker, and first strike. So the primary is always an Eternal War mission, the secondary is the Maelstrom mission, and then the tertiary is your line breaker, slay the warlord, and first strike. And first strike is where we can both, if we get first blood in the first turn, we get the points for that. So there's lots of points up for grabs. These missions are just your normal rulebook and chapter approved missions, so you can look them up in there. I won't bore anyone with them because everyone pretty much knows it. But yeah, it should be an interesting game, should be a lot of fun, and let's see if the Death Guard can pull a win. Good luck.
Go on. Cheers.
Alright, so the armies are deployed. We've pretty much got everything settled down. So I've deployed all the Plague Burst Crawlers over here, because basically what I was waiting for with the drops was to see where Richard put the Stormlord. So I wanted to make sure I can touch out to that and affect that where need be, but also with the range of the mortars, they can also touch out to other areas if I need to, say, knock out a Sentinel over there or reach out to something. I've got that option now. And also with the heavy stubbers, they can start to, or sluggers I should say, they can start to shoot out some of the infantry as well. Got the bloat drones here as well, so they're just going to essentially be able to shoot forward. Now we've placed the Nurglings over here because we do have an objective over here which is close to the Stormlord, so I need to make sure that these Nurglings are ready to go, but I've also sort of blocked with the line of sight towards the Stormlord as well. So Rich might be able to see him a little bit, but at least we've got that blockage there. However, we do have some other stuff here, but it's a sort of counter deployment to force his hand to deploy some other stuff somewhere. In the middle, we've got the Demon Prince with the light drones. And then we've got a big long line of Poxwalkers and Cultists. So basically, hopefully what I'm going to be doing is when the Poxwalkers die, the Cultists are going to push forward with their superior movement, and then maybe replenish the ranks with the Dead Walk again stratagem. We'll see if that happens. We'll see what Rich decides to do, see what hand he can sort of force. And then just in the back corner over here, you don't really have to come over here, but there is a squad of Nurglings just back here as well. So we've really pushed them up into Rich's deployment zone, so that way he's going to have to deal with him if he wants to do something against him. And there's some objectives just over here as well. So objective placement, we've got objective 1, objective 5, and what's that one over there?
Number 3.
Number 3. Then we've got objective 2, 6, and 4 here for the missions. So yeah, so basically the next thing is to see who goes first. So Rich had the drops first, so let's roll off, see who goes first. Let's roll it into here. Ready? And 2, 6. Thanks, SN dice. This is this. You keep screwing me over. You rolled a 7 anyway. So
6 plus 1.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I've got the also SN. I just stole the initiative dice. Let's see if this one actually works. So, yeah, Pardo, this better work. Ah! We're doing it.
Well done.
Rich, thank you very much. Turn 1 for the Death Guard. Alright, so with the Cleanse and Capture mission, which is the Maelstrom portion of this, I've pulled Disgusting Devotions, which is where I have to make at least 7 successful Disgustingly Resilient saves during one of my turns. So when Rich is in his turn, I at least make 7 successful saves. I'll then score the 1 point with that. Defend Objective 2, which is all the way over right where my Plague Burst Crawlers are, so I'm owning that objective already. So at the end of Rich's turn, I'll score the points for that. And then I've got Defend Objective 3, which is just the objective sitting right behind the Sky Shield landing pad just here. So I think I should be able to score some points at the end of Rich's, essentially, because they're all going to be scored during his turn. So anyway, we'll go on to the round 1 for the Death Guard. Go. Alright, so at the end of the movement phase, the entire Death Guard and Noble Demon army is sort of just pushed right up the field. So we've got over here the Noblings are pushed up, so they're getting ready to pull off a charge in the charge phase. We've got the Bloat Drones who have also moved up. The Poxwalkers here have also advanced up, rolled a 4, moved 8 inches, played the Cloud of Flies stratagem on them as well. So that means they can only be targeted if they're the closest visible unit. So obviously there's a lot of other stuff a bit closer, so it protects them against the Stormlord with the Vulcan Mega Bolters, which would just turn them into utter paste if it hit them. The Cultists and Poxwalkers here moved up with the Demon Prince just behind, and I've also had the Blight Drones also move up and advance. And then just over here we've also had the Noblings move up and essentially surround Objective 3. So there's quite a few things I need to have happen now in which to sort of keep them alive and also make sure that they maintain that objective. I think it's going to be a bit tough, but yeah, we'll see how they go. And that is the end of the movement phase. On to the psychic phase next. Alright, so the first lot of powers we're going to cast, so just so we know, the Pox Bringer is completely out for all his powers, so he has Smite and also Fleshy Abundance. He can't cast that yet, there's nothing in range for Smite, so unfortunately he's not going to be casting anything. First thing, however, we're going to do Putrescent Vitality onto the Poxwalkers, that's +1 Strength, +1 Toughness, using Typhus. So here we go, goes off on an 8. You want to deny that? No. No. Next thing as well is Miasma of Pestilence to get the -1 to hit. I'm also going to cast that onto the Poxwalkers. I think that goes off on a 5. I'll have to double check that. Because it might be a 6. Miasma of Pestilence. Into the back of the book. Here we go. 6. So I'm not going to re-roll that though. I'm going to be saving my command points. So they're not at a -1 to hit. Now the last one is Plague Wind from the Demon Prince. He is in range of the squad, just up over here. So if it goes off, I think it does on a 7. Do you want to try and deny that?
I will try. Yeah.
Give it a go.
With my primary psyker, and he fails to do anything.
Are you going to command point that? You sure? Yeah. You get to farm it back. So Plague Wind goes off on a 5. So 10 guys in that unit. So any rolls of 6s are mortal wounds. 1 6.
1 dies.
So I think that's pretty much it. So there we go. Onto the shooting phase next.
Go.
Alright, so the next thing to happen is I've only got one sort of thing that can shoot the shooting phase. Everything is just out at the moment or is advanced. So I'm going to be shooting the Plague Burst Crawlers. Now I want to try and get first strike. So I'm going to be going against the Sentinel closest to the Noblings. And we also have a cat that's scratching itself just over in the corner, so you might hear a little bell tinkering. There he is. Everyone say hi to Latte. Latte the cat. Alright, so the first thing we're going to be doing is the... so I'm going to be doing the Mortar and the Entropy Cannons. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Mortar at the Sentinel, Entropy Cannons at the Stormlord, and then just the Heavy Slugger is going to go against the Guardsmen there. So, how many shots first? 2 shots. Needing 4s to hit, 2 hits, strength 8, toughness 6, so 3s to win, re-rolling 1s, but 2 wounds at -2 onto the Sentinel Rich. So
2, so it's a save of 6.
Yep. 2 fails.
So how many wounds is that?
D3 each. So 2 5s and 6s. Nope, that's 3 wounds in total.
3 left.
3 left. Okay, the 2 Entropy Cannons. 1 hit. This is against the Stormlord, toughness 8.
Yep.
4s to wound, that's 1 wound, -4.
So there's no save.
No save?
Yeah.
D6 wounds, that's 3 wounds off of him.
3.
So, yay! And then the sluggers, 4 shots, re-rolling 1s because of the Chaos Lord. That's 3 hits against the guardsman. 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds at -1 against your 2
wounds?
Yep.
6s.
Oh, 1. Very good rolling. Alright, on to the next Plague Burst Crawler. So the mortar is going to be targeting the Sentinel, entropy cannons against the Stormlord, and then I'm going to be doing the slugger against the guardsman over here. So how many shots from the mortar? 1 shot. 1 hit. 1 wound against your Sentinel.
Negative what?
2.
So -6.
Nothing. Give me 3. Come on. 1 wound.
That's got 2 there.
2 entropy cannons. 1 hit. That's a 3 and a 4. No wound against the Stormlord, and then 4 shots against the guys there. 3 hits. 3s to wound. That's 3 wounds at -1.
6s.
3 dead. Then the very last Plague Burst Cannon, Plague Burst Mortar, so he's going to be shooting against the Sentinel. How many shots? 6. Oh, this will kill him. But watch me roll like 6 2s now. Entropy Cannons against the Stormlord, and then the Sluggers against... Oh, can they see them now? No. So, go against those guys, I reckon. If I can't even see them. So, going to go against the Bullgrins. So here we go. Mortar. Reroll 1s. Oh, still missed. So 3 hits against the Sentinel. 2 1s. Get to reroll those because Plague Weapon. So 2 wounds. -2.
-6s.
Nothing. And he's dead.
Yeah.
Yay. Does he explode?
No.
2 entropy cannons against the Stormlord. A 6 and a 1. Reroll the 1. That still misses. 4s to wound. It's a 4. D6 wounds. 5.
It's -4, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
So he's lost 8 wounds. And then the 4 slugger shots against your Bullgrins. Reroll the 1. Their toughness is 5. I rolled a 4 and a 6.
I need to check with their savings actually because I'm running.
We'll come back to that. Yeah. So anyway, that's not too bad. So we got first strike. We've taken 8 wounds off the Stormlord, which is pretty good. But yeah, now we've got to sort of weather the storm next because that'll pretty much be the end of my turn early. We will have a charge phase happening next though, and we'll come back then.
Sorry, mate.
Go.
Alright, charge phase. So we're just going to have the 2 squads of Noblings charge into the Guardsmen. So for the squad, 6 inches. We'll see if that makes it in. 6. No, they're just out, and you'll get to do your Overwatch against them.
So I'm going to use this stratagem.
Yes.
The grenade stratagem, so that will throw grenades. So
no worries. So we'll get that ready in a second, and then these guys will try and charge as well. 8 inches they should be in. So yes, there you go. They'll be in. So get your dice, roll them up, and then we'll come back in the fight phase. Alright, so fight phase just finished between the Noblings and the Guardsmen, with neither of them doing any wounds to each other. I did lose 2 wounds in the Overwatch though, so yeah, that's about it really. So pretty much to recap the turn though, however, because that's the end, you do have, 1 morale to make there.
yes,
Lost 3 guys, so lose a lot. Rolled a 1, no, they're fine.
just want to point out my grenaders did 64 wounds to these noodlings and actually only killed 2.
No, they didn't do 64 wounds. You had 64 shots.
64, yeah.
You had about 10 hits in total with 64
shots. Yeah, correct.
So,
good start.
But yeah, pretty much to round up the turn, we got first strike, which is great. So that's 1 point off the bat. Everything's sort of moved up. I'm ready to defend objective 2. I don't think Rich is going to get that. Defending objective 3 over here is going to be a lot tougher, but I've sort of surrounded the objective. Hopefully they'll survive. We'll see what Rich decides to do. He'll probably get secure objective 3, so it just means it's it. But yeah, we're looking in a pretty good position at the moment, so we'll just have to see what happens next. So Astra Militarum turn 1 coming up.
Okay guys, I've got secure objective 5, which is quite handy because that's right in the middle of my board, just over there with all my troops all over it. I've got overkill, so I get 1 victory point if I kill something with my tank, and then D3 if a Titanic vehicle does it. Quite handy, I've got one this time. And then priority orders received. We're not 100% sure how this works, given the second card that I pulled is a psychological warfare, which is if Leigh fails a morale test, I get a point for that. So we're probably not going to play that one right. We'll give that a crack. But you know, your army, that's a lot of it's fearless. It'll be quite interesting. Okay, so I've just moved the boys up a little bit. Obviously, I want to compete on number 3, where Leigh's got an objective to take number 3. So position my men to fire it as little guys there, and then hopefully advance in that position. I've just sort of moved things a little bit here. I jumped 20 troops out of the Stormlord, which was quite felt good to do that. It didn't take a lot of damage. Took 8 wounds, so I'm happy they're still alive. So getting ready to bring some guns on the mortars down there, and these guys have moved up here to try and protect the tanks a little bit of position with my Primaris Psyker and Platoon Commander as well. So just ready to do what Guard do best, and that's to shoot something. Okay, Psychic phase. I got the Primaris Psyker. He's going to cast Night Shroud on the Stormlord to try and protect him. It's -1 to hit. Needing 6.
Goes off on a 7, but I'm going to attempt to deny it. So here we go. Yeah, you got it.
What was that, Leigh?
Do I spend the command point actually? Because I do want to kill it. Because I'd roll a 5. Do it.
Do it.
Then I have to do it. Because then I'd have to. Then I have to roll a 4 to equal. Nah, you can have it. I'm saving my command points to other stuff.
Here we go. Alright, Stormlord is winding up. He's ready to let loose. We've cast Vengeance Mercator at strategy on him, so rerolling hits and wounds. The Mega Bolter, Mega Cannons are going to fire on the unwounded fly here. We've got 2 layers cannons firing at the mortar that is wounded. Heavy Bolters opening up on the wounded one, and the Stub is going to fire at these guys over here.
Lots of targets. Yeah. Let's do it. Come on. What's shooting first? The Bolter?
Yeah, the
Mega Bolter?
Mega.
Do it.
Okay, being on 4s with rerolls.
This sucks. This is gonna hurt. What's the strength of the Mega Bolter? 6?
6,
Yeah, that's alright. Alright. So how many hits is that? Lots.
All the
What
hits.
about counting at the moment? I think that's like 14 hits or something.
What's the toughness on that?
7, so you need 5 to move. You get rerolls for the rerolls. Oh, lucky.
Lots of 1s there.
Okay, so there's 4 wounds currently. Alright, just give me all the wounds. Give me all the wounds. There we go. That's 6 wounds. What's the negative?
It is -2 and 2 damage a shot.
Alright, so 2 damage. Okay, so I pass 1. So that's 10 wounds, essentially. Holy crap. Oh, here you go, 5 disgustingly resilient, 10 disgustingly resilient saves. I pass 1, 2, 3. I've got, oh wow, that's a lot of fails. I've essentially got 3 wounds left on that guy. There you go, that's disgusting. What next? What next? What do we do next?
So the heavy bolters at this one.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 6 essentially heavy bolters.
6 times 3, 18 shots. 18 shots. Here we go. So these are all 1 damage a pop at least. I'm glad about that.
Shortchanging myself.
Don't shortchange yourself, Richard. It's unfair, it's unsportsmanlike. So yeah, that's really painful copying that many wounds just from that one gun. And he's going to get to shoot it a second time as well, which is really, really painful. So here we go, heavy bolts is going.
At the wounded one.
At the wounded one. Well, they're both wounded now. Alright, so this needs 4s to hit. So quite a few hits, which is good. Alright, and 5 to... there's the number.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Tums?
7, so 5.
5 rerolls.
So you currently got like 3 or 4 or something. 2 wounds so far.
2. Rerolls.
There you go, that's a few more. So that's 4 wounds total. Here we go. Pass 2 saves and pass the disgusting resilience. So still on 6 wounds for that one, so that's pretty good. Las cannons.
2 las cannons. Being on 4s.
1 hit. 2 hits. 3s. Here's strength. 1 fail. That's 1 fail. So 5 up invulnerable. I pass. All good. And then you got, what is it? 6 stubber shots.
Stubbers, yep.
And these are going to be shooting at the Nurglings.
So yeah, this, just seeing it's heavy 3.
Yep. 2 of them. Here we go. Ooh, 3 misses. Troop 1s if anyone saw that.
Okay. 5 hits.
And 2. There we go. So that's 1 fail. There we go. 5 up, 5 up. So 1 save, disgusting, 1 resilient, 1 base dead. There we go. Now you get to do this a second time, don't you? No, you don't. No, that's right. It's only you get to reroll the twins.
Yeah.
That sucked. That really sucked. But at least it's still alive. That's
still alive.
It's still alive. Alright, we'll come back when there's something else in the shooting phase.
Okay, so my troops withdrew over here away from the Nurglings and then opened up with all these infantry that came out of the Stormlord and blasted them away with the help of a few other weapons over here. Caused a lot of damage to things but didn't quite kill anything apart from the Nurglings. We've got 1 Plaguebush Crawler down to 2 wounds at the back. We concentrated on that one but we didn't quite get him because at least he's a little bit potatoed now. Both these guys are wounded. One's got 3 wounds, the other one's got 6 wounds, but unfortunately they're shaping up to come hit me pretty hard. That was pretty much on that side. This side of the board, we've concentrated fire on the Nurglings. They're a great unit for sucking up fire, but we had to deal with them because he's on objective that Leigh's going to score on. Managed to take 2 bases out there with pretty much everything over this side, and now we're going to obviously charge that and try and push them off the point. These guys just a little bit of ineffective shooting. The only charge I did was obviously try and push these Nurglings off objective 3, which Leigh needed to get to score points. I managed to do 2 wounds with combined 2 Sentinel and 1 squad of troops. Didn't really do anything, just did the 2 wounds. So we're pretty much locked in combat over there. Yeah, so on to scoring. Okay, so I scored secure objective 5, which is obviously going to be seen on my board with those platoon troops there.
And then I also managed to get Disgusting Devotion, so that means I made 7 Disgustingly Resilient saves for 1 point and defend objective 2, which is just over there. So we'll go on to Death Guard, turn 2. Alright, so I discarded Defender Objective 3 because I'm not going to score that now. It's just going to be too hard to clutch it back. So we ended up drawing Master the Warp. So 1 victory point if you manifest or denied a psychic power this turn. If you manifest or denied 3 psychic powers, score D3. However, due to the SN rules, you just score a flat 2 if you manage to get the D3. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to master at least 3 psychic powers this turn. Hold the line, so I'm just going to have 3 units within my deployment zone and no enemy models, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that with the Plague Burst Crawlers and the Chaos Lord, so I'm pretty happy there. And then I also drew Defend Objective 4, which is just here, so I'll just have to move something on there and hold that objective, so I think that'll be pretty easy to score as well. So yeah, we'll get on to the Death Guard movement phase, a lot to happen. Alright, so at the end of the Death Guard movement phase, a lot of stuff has moved up. So moving across the board, we've got the Nurglings who have sort of just pushed up here. We've got this guy who's only got about a movement of 8 with these 3 wins left. He's pushed up. And then this one's jumped into the little gap here. So there should be about an inch there. So he's just sitting on that. And he's on top of an objective as well right now. So these guys have moved up as well. They advanced, so they had a 10-inch movement. They can't charge, but they're just sort of there to be a bit of a nuisance. We've also had the Cultists and these Poxwalkers move up. Typhus is sitting in the middle. He's 7 inches away there, 7 inches away there, so he's getting his buff on, which is fantastic. Demon Prince has moved up because he's ready to start causing a little bit of havoc himself. And then the those guys, the Blood Drones, have moved up as well. So there's a lot that's going to start happening in the turn. There's going to be a lot of psychic happening, a lot of shooting happening. This is where the plan hopefully sort of comes to fruition, and we'll see what happens. So, psychic phase. Alright, psychic phase. So the first thing that's going to happen is the Poxbringer is going to smite the guys over there. They are the closest visible enemy unit. So here we go, 5 to go off. Goes off on an 8. You're going to try and deny that?
Nope.
Nope. So that's D3 mortal wounds. The big 3. So that's 3 guys dead. The next thing that's going to happen is the Demon Prince is going to cast Plague Wind on the Guardsman just over there. So it goes off on a 6. Goes off on a 7. You're going to try and stop that?
I'm trying to stop that one.
So 7. Go. Yep, stops it on an 8. So there you go. Now I've got 2 more powers to cast, which I really want to do to get Master the Warp. So we're going to go Miasma of Pestilence onto these guys here for a -1 to hit. Goes off on a 9. So that's 2 powers cast, and then I'm also going to do Putrescent Vitality from Typhus. Goes off on a 7. So they're now +1 strength, +1 toughness. So all good there. So that's 3 powers successfully cast for those points, and that is the psychic phase done. Alright, so not a bad shooting phase. We cleared out a few guardsmen over here, but they're still sort of holding at the moment. So that was with the cultists and with the blight drones. Then over here, with the combined shooting of the 2 fetid bloat drones, we managed to kill 7 guardsmen here, and then a further 6 in the unit up the back. And then the Plague Burst Crawlers were on fire, so I was rolling really well, even with the -1 to hit against the Stormlord, but Rich's saves were on fire as well, so we both actually did really well, so I didn't benefit from it. So when you save really well, it doesn't matter what you do.
Well, 1 entropy cannon shot got through and did 6 wounds.
Yes, so but it could have been a lot worse because I had 3 of the Plague Burst mortar shots wound, and I was like, hell yeah! But he made 3 5-up saves, so... but it was good though, so like I had luck, Rich had luck, and that's actually really, really cool to see. So, and all the sluggers shot at the guardsmen over here as well, so we've, really managed to thin out the ranks there. So, it's starting to heat up a little bit this game, so I'm definitely going to be holding the line. I'm definitely Master the Warp, and hopefully my Poxbringer doesn't die, and we'll, really do some damage in the combat phase. So, we'll catch you in the combat phase. Alright, so a really good charge phase occurred. So the thing I'm most proud about, the Noblings multi-assaulted against the guard squad here and against the Manticore. It's Manticore, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Yep. So rolled 12-inch charge, so we did really well and we made it in. And all it is just to tie up that unit, so and maybe kill the last 2 guardsmen, really force that morale. So the Fetid Bloat drones both made it in there as well. Lots of grenade shots went in it, didn't lose a wound, so I'm pretty happy about that. Over here, the Blight drones made it in against the Warlord and against the unit here. And then the Demon Prince has also made it in here with a multi-assault. So it's going to be a pretty big turn in regards to our combat, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so what's just occurred at the moment is the in the combat phase, the bloat drones have gotten in, or the blight drones, with a prehensile proboscis, their disgusting whatever weapon. They've managed to do 5 wounds on the Warlord. Now these things are damaged 2 apiece. Rich has passed 3, but he's failed 2. He is spending 1 command point to try and pass this to keep his Warlord alive.
Here we go, buddy. You can do it.
No, he doesn't. And that is Warlord. So there we go.
Yep. Go on.
Warlord achieved. And then we've got another 4 attacks quickly against your guardsmen. That's 1 hit, which sucks. 1 wound.
Negative.
No negative. And that's a guardsman dead. So there we go. That's Warlord. And then we're on to this combat here. Alright, so at the end of this turn, we've managed to clear out most of the guardsmen here. They failed some morale, so they've broken and ran. Guardsmen here were fine. There's only 2 left, but there you go. And obviously the Warlord popped. And then over here as well, most of the guardsmen died as well from morale at the end. So with taking 7 or 8 casualties in the turn, it's pretty hectic for them. So and also the Noblings took 1 wound over there as well. So that pretty much ends the Death Guard turn 2. And just to quickly recap, I got 2 points for Master the Warp and 1 point for holding the line. So there we go. Defend Objective 4 will come in the next turn. So there we go, on to Astra Militarum, turn 2.
I've still got the overkill, so I haven't killed anything with a vehicle since I got that the first turn. We've got behind enemy lines, so I'm going to try and scoot one of my sentinels up to get that. And I also drew overwhelming firepower, so I discarded the card that only my Warlord could achieve because he's now been eaten up. And that's again killing things with shooting. I get victory points. If I can kill 3 things, I get an D3, which obviously in this mission means I get 2. Okay, so I moved some guys out of combat so they could obviously be shoot at the target. So I moved away from here, moved the troops away from here to try and screen the basilisk a little bit. These guys are set up ready for a bit of a shooting match over here. And I've moved my Ogrins away from these guys who are buffed up to the max to target these ones here. And I've got a sentinel running down the hard line flanking out there. The tank didn't move because he used a stratagem to regain one wound. So yeah, here we go. Psychopath.
All right, so the big guy shooting. So Vulcan Mega Bolter into the Fetid Bloat drone. Let's do it.
5s and 5s with rerolls.
Got Vengeance for Cadia. So how many? That's a few past. We'll just put them to the side. There we go.
Oh, that's ugly.
Doesn't matter. Still pretty good. These hurt.
5 to win with 0 rolls.
Still a few there. They're 2 damage a pop, which is what really hurts.
Oh.
That's done well.
Alright, here we go. So what is that? Negative 2?
Negative 2. Yeah.
2. Okay, here we go. 5 up. 1 pass. He's only got 5 wounds left because this one was 4. Pass 3. They have to roll that again. So he's got 3 wounds left. No, he's dead. On a 4 up, he explodes. No.
No, he had 6 wounds left.
No, there was 5 there. I lost 1 before.
Okay.
So he's gone. He's gone.
Boom.
Bloodstone gone. And what is next?
So 2 laser cannons. This guy's on 1 wound left.
Yep.
Then 5s and miss.
Yeah.
And then the heavy bolters, all of them over here.
Let's do it.
Dice. Sorry.
We're getting there. So basically, he almost could have knocked out 3 units, but alas, was not to be. So here we go. My blood drone will survive this.
5s and 5s.
Reroll all misses. In my next turn, I think my 2 plague breast crawlers will attempt to smite him a little bit more. Oof.
Oh.
Not bad.
Ooh.
Not bad. Good work, Rich. Good work.
It's pretty nice seeing that many numbers.
5s.
5s with rerolls.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. 3 so far.
Oh, that.
Lots to make. So 4 up saves. Here we go.
2 wounds left.
Fail 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 5 ups. Pass 2. He's only had 2 wounds left. Ooh, 4 up. He explodes. Yes. So everything within 7 inches suffers a mortal wound. So 1, 2. Yeah, and him as well. So 1 disgustingly resilient from my. I know they don't actually get disgustingly resilient, so he just loses the wounds. So there we go. That's that done. 2 bloat drones killed.
Go.
Okay, so my big boys have opened up with the guns, we've withdrawn out of combat and pulled the trigger. So we've taken out 2 of the plague burst crawlers. So 1 fantastic hit from my tank commander with the battle cannon, stripped 12 wounds off 1, which is great. And the big stormlord has cleared out the guys coming through here, apart from this pesky noogling, which they just never seem to die, and a bit more stuff over the side. So Ogren's ready to charge. We've got a warlord running muck around here, but the game's leveled up a little bit, but there's still a lot more to come down the middle. Ogren's charging in, 10 attacks on the fly, hitting on 3s. Ooh, that's ugly.
That is very ugly.
I'm wounding on 4s.
That's 3 wounds,
saves
pretty good.
at -1.
Here we go. Pass 2, disgustingly resilient. So I lose another wound on 1 of them. So he's down to 2 over here. Now their attack's back, so pile in. He gets to within an inch. 1 of his, that's good. So I've got pretty much 4 attacks with the plague swords first. I hit 3 times. And then we
Toughness
go...
is 5.
Toughness 5, strength 4. Reroll 1s. So 2 saves so far on your Ogrins.
5+.
Oh, that's 1 dead.
Yep.
And then we've got 12 attacks coming in. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is with the proboscis, priscus, something or other. So here we go. 4s to hits. There we go. That's a lot of hits. Now these are all 2 damage, and I get to reroll failed wounds with these. So strength 4, toughness is 5. So it's 5s. Get to reroll those. So there's 3 hits so far. There you go, that many wounds. So no negative. What's your save?
5+.
5+. So here we go. 6 wounds at 5+, 2 damage apiece.
That is pretty brutal.
So you passed 3. So that's 6 wounds.
6 wounds. So that's the
So
unit.
that's hit take 2 and
So
then another 2.
And there's 3.
So that'd be 1, 2, and then because you passed 3, so that's 4 wounds there, and then 1 wound. Oh, sorry, 2 wounds. So he's still alive.
Still up down to 1.
Yep. Very good. And that is that.
Okay, in the shooting phase, I had a couple of things that very, very handy. I got 2, obviously with the missions it's D3, but today it's 2 for killing more than 3 units in the shooting phase. And because my Titanic vehicle killed something in the shooting phase, I also get another D3, which in this mission counts as 2. So 4 points.
And then I got Defend Objective 4. So, yeah, Maelstrom points were pretty close together. But it's going to come down into this sort of late game and who controls the objectives. So I've got a lot of OBSEC coming up the board right now that's hard to shift. So yeah, interesting. So late game is all going. Alright, so this turn we managed to pull Assassinate, where we have to kill a character. I think that's going to be quite tough at the moment because the only character left is over here. We've also got Big Game Hunter, so I have to kill something with at least 10 or more wounds. If it has 20 or more wounds, I get D3 or the 2 points. So if I can try and kill that Stormlord, I don't think I'm going to do it this turn, but you know what, we're going to give it a crack, so who cares. That'll get me at least 2 points, and then I'll be maxed out on my Maelstrom, and then I've also got no prisoners. So as long as I kill here, I'll max out on my Maelstrom points, and it's all about making sure I get the Eternal War objectives in the end. So we're going to move on to the Death Guard movement phase. Alright, so basically all we've done here is everything is sort of moved up. Poxwalker's getting ready for a big charge, if it manages to happen. Demon Prince has moved up to ready to start punching up the Basilisk. These guys are obviously stuck in combat here. I could fly them out, but then I won't get a charge, so that Ogre needs to die this turn. Typhus and the Poxwalkers have moved up as well, and then the Chaos Lord has just moved up to make sure he claims Objective 2 and he stays out of line of sight, but he won't be showing, so it's all good. Oh, and then I've just got to move... these guys here. Just to, you know, be a little bit annoying. So that's that. So we might as well just quickly roll into the shooting phase. So he's just going to go Smite straight into the tank. So here we go. Goes off on an 8. Do you want to try and stop that? No. So D3. So that's just 1 wound.
Psyche phase, isn't it?
Yeah, Psychic phase, yeah. So next thing that we'll do is the Poxbringer here. He's going to cast Fleshy Abundance to bring his wounds back up. So here we go. Well, that fails. I need a 5, so I'm going to spend 1 command point for the reroll. So I want to try and get his wounds back up. And there we go. So he goes back to D3 wounds. You can try and stop that
with his 7.
Oh, stop. He does it. That's annoying. That's okay. Next we're going to do... over here, we're going to do Putrescent Vitality to bring their strength up. So, goes off on a 10. And then I'm also going to cast Smite, which will take some wounds off this guy. Now, we're going to hope for the big 11 here. Let's do it. 5, no, and that fails. And I can't do a reroll, so... there we go. So that's the Psychic phase. We're going to move on to the shooting phase next. Alright, so... my last Plague Burst Crawler is going to be shooting the Stormlord. So he's got 13 wounds left. I'm not going to knock that many off, but it's hopefully going to be enough for a little bit later. So, yeah, everything is going to shoot at him. So, first thing, Plague Burst Crawler, how many more shots? 6.
-1 to hit him because he's got the Night Shroud on.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about that. 5s to hit, reroll the 1s.
Oh, that's a John McEnroe.
4s though, so rerolling 1s because of Plague Weapon. So that's not that good. So 2 2s there, so that's out. Reroll the 1, so 4s. That's 3 at -2, Rich. So don't pass all these like you did last time.
Saving on 5s, right?
5s. Oh, there we go. So D3 wounds a pop. Are you going to CP one of those?
D3 wounds?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to CP one.
Yep. Fails. No. So you lose a CP as well. And that is 3, 6, 7, 8 wounds gone. 8 wounds. So we're knocking him down. Here we go. 2 entropy cannons. 4s to hit. Rerolling 1s because of the Chaos Lord. Alright, that's a miss. 4s to wound. That wounds. That's going to be D6 wounds. 3. Ooh, how many wounds you got left? Hold on, before you do that.
Yeah.
How many wounds you got left on there?
10, 21, so you've got 5 left.
So, do I want to go the big? You know what? I'm going to spend 1 command point. I'm going to try and get higher than a 3. So, 2 command points left. Here we go. 5. That's the Stormlord dead. Didn't think I was going to do it, but...
Yeah, so I'll just double check that. I think you're right.
26 wounds that should be. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
it,
26.
On a 6 it explodes, you can do it, Rich. Here we go. No. Now, all the guys on the inside have to take a test, so we'll come back at the end of that. So that's a big relief.
It's unbelievable. Damn it.
I call balls.
All right, shooting phase is done, so poor Rich is just moving all the dead bodies around. That's it, so that Stormlord just went kapoo. Basically, yeah, not much else. We only killed the 2 other guys there, so now we're going to go into the combat phase. So I'll just quickly do all my charges now. So Demon Prince, he's in. Let's do the Poxwalkers. They'll just attempt to charge the 2 guys over there. So we'll get to do Overwatch in a minute. 10 inches.
I think that's
make it. 10 inches. Yeah, that's in. So they'll be in, but there'll be a bit of Overwatch with that. Over here, the Poxwalkers are going to attempt to charge. What's that? That's like a. They're going to attempt to charge this unit over here. So here we go. 5, no. And yeah, we'll Nurglings over there. They're in. So
just on him?
Yep, just on him. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'll let Richard do his Overwatch, then we'll see you in the combat phase. Alright, so at the end of that fight phase, we stripped several wounds off the Basilisk, and the suppurating plate also did a mortal wound because I passed a save. So
5 left.
Ding, so we've got 5 left. Killed 2 of the guardsmen over here with the Poxwalkers. The last of the Ogrins got killed, and nothing happened over there with the Nurglings and the Manticores. So that's the end of the turn. I got 2 points, so big game hunter and no prisoners. So not too bad. I've maxed out now on all the potential Maelstrom points. Now it's all about getting the Eternal War objectives and locking them down. So we've got them here, here, over there, and over here. So Rich essentially will almost definitely control 1 if I'm not careful. And if I'm not careful here, I'm controlling objective 2, and then he can also, depending on what he wants to do, that's worth 3, so better to get 3 points than line breaker if that survives. So, yeah, let's see what happens in Rich's turn. What is it, 3?
Yep.
Drew 2 new cards, Death from Afar, so I get a victory point if I destroy something in Leigh's deployment zone from something within mine. My guys are a bit tied up at the moment, so it's going to be difficult. Or I get domination if I get every control point. I'll score some victory points, so that's pretty much a dead one. Still got 1 live, which is getting behind enemy lines, which this guy is running down to do. So we'll see how we go. Alright, I've withdrawn 2 tanks out of combat, so they won't be able to shoot, but at least they're out of the way, so I can shoot at what was engaging them. So this Pestly Nurgling base has been the bane of my game all day. I'm going to try and blast him. Well, these guys are moving a bit of cover, I can shoot back. They're just sort of awaiting a charge from the undead. Primaris is my last character is hiding back here. Actually, he's still a character technically. And then we've got some stuff here that's free. I'm going to try and deal with this menace. A little difficult with what's going on over here, and I've got 1 guy scoring a point down there. So we'll see how we get on the shooting phase. Okay, so I've got Vengeance for KD on this guy, and he's using the KD order to fire his turret twice with the reroll, obviously. So I'm going to heavy bolt to this pesky bugger, and then try and blow that last plague mask away.
Can't see, blocks line of sight.
So he's a tank commander, and he did move, so he's -1, so he's hitting on 4s. So heavy bolt to these guys with the rerolls. There's some good damage there. That still misses. And 2s, 3 rolls.
There we go.
5 wounds.
Yeah, 5 up. Pass. Ooh, 3 fails. I just need at least one of these to. He's got 1 win left.
Okay, he's going to eat some mortars soon. Las Cannon, hitting there. Reroll.
Handy.
No. And heavy shots with the turret. I'll reroll that one. So 9 turret shots.
So he gets 1 reroll to do that.
Hitting off 4s with rerolls.
Still not too bad.
How many hits?
That's 7 hits.
And hitting 4s.
Yes.
With rerolls.
You've been pretty good with these this game. That's, I think that'll be enough for me though. 5?
5.
So yep. 5 ups. I passed 1. Oh, I haven't been good with those saves. How many wounds? What's that? 2,
4,
5,
6, 7.
7 wounds. Oh, here we go. 5, 6, 7. Disgustingly resilient. Oh, all but 1. So he's got 11 wounds left. Yippa!
Ouch.
That's not good.
Ouch. Okay, so a bit of shooting. Finally killed the pesky noogling that was over here. It took me way more than it should have. I put a couple of scratches on the plague burst claw back there. Took 1 wound off it. Was it Leigh?
Yep.
And then pretty much didn't do anything else. Although I did get a point. Hey, that guy at the back is down there, measured beautifully in the deployment zone and ready to fire up his flamer. He's running away. 1 more point.
Alright, so at the end of the movement phase, we've pretty much moved the Poxwalkers up. These guys are in here because they're going to start to pull off a multi-assault soon and really make Richard's day not happy. These guys are moved up as well because they're going to support the Demon Prince in the combat. So if I can clear this away, then all I've got to worry about is this. Like, that's a lot of damage, but that's going to happen next. But we're going to start to focus on that sort of.
Still got 3 missiles. 3 missiles. I'm running out of turns. 3 missiles.
Yeah. You can use them. So look, we're going to go straight into Psychic phase next. So let's go here. So I'm going to cast Smite against him. Goes off on a 6. You won't be able to stop that one. So D3 wounds. That's just 1 wound against that. Smite here. Fails on a 3. I'm just going to let that go through. Now over here, we're going to go Miasma of Pestilence for the -1 to hit. Fails, unfortunately, and then Putrescent Vitality to get the +1 strength, +1 toughness, goes off.
Try to stop that with an 8. You'll give it an 8.
You always stop it! That's
it.
fair enough. Stop it! Stop. Alright, that's it. Let's go into the shooting phase. Alright, so not a bad way to cap off turn 4. Could have been a little bit better, but we've got 1 wound left and 1 wound left here. So
holding out.
Holding out some plucky little saves there, which have helped. But yeah, coming into my turn 5 after Rich's turn 4, it's going to be pretty good for me. These guys passed their break test, but we did lose all the mortars back here. So these guys with their proboscis tentacle-y thing, it's fantastic. So did heaps of damage. Luckily, the Psycho, he's left on 1 wound. He's still hanging around. Didn't manage to kill any guardsmen here, unfortunately. So, and I lost 2 Poxwalkers in return, but they'll still just stay there, regenerate, do what they do. So, be very afraid of them. Over here as well, didn't get a wound off on the Sentinel, and I also lost a wound back. So. That's my turn. No Maelstrom cards to score because there are none to score left because I've maxed out. Rich has still got to draw some, so he might be able to score a few points there. But looking like the Death Guard are really controlling the board right now. But there's some big guns here to fire still, which could sort of claw the game back.
3 missiles. 3 missiles.
Can you fire all 3 at once?
Turn 4.
Oh,
no,
no.
I can't. Turn 7, you can.
Excellent. All right, let's go into Astra Militarum turn 4.
I've still got Death from afar. We're going to kill something in the deployment zone, so that Plague Burst Crawler's got a big target on it. Aerial Denial, he's got no one near the centre of the battlefield, so I might better pick that one up with a bit of luck. Everyone's a bit spread out away from there. That one's going to be tough. Hold the line. These ones I've just drawn now, I get victory points if there's no one in my deployment zone, and he's got pretty much nearly everything in my deployment zone. We'll see how we get on.
Go.
Turns are going pretty fast and furious now. I've moved my men out to engage Typhus because, well, we're going to have a crack. These guys are set up, guns ready to have a blast. My plucky guys, both on 1 wound each, have withdrawn from that combat and causing them to obviously chase me, or maybe not. Rattling's still alive, remarkably. They've never lived to the end of the game. We'll see how they go. And my Sentinels are withdrawn from combat over there, so we'll see how we go and shoot. Go. Okay, tanks opened up, took 1 wound off these guys and 5 wounds off the Plague Burst Mortar. And surprisingly, well, not unsurprisingly really, the last plasma gunner overheated and blew himself up, so there's 3 out of 3 killed themselves in today's game. But I did strip 1 wound off Typhus with the last gun, so that's good. And that was it for the shooting. So the combat, there wasn't a lot going on. There was a bit of a bash going on with the guardsmen and the Poxwalkers, and I killed 5 but lost 2 in return. So net result is the Poxwalkers were down 3 because they got 2 back. Scored 1 point for aerial denial. That's it. Back to Leigh.
Turn 5! Alright, so end of the Death Guard movement phase, we've had the Demon Prince just move up because he's going to smite and charge. These guys moved on to the objective, I'm on the objective here. Now I'm just going to clear out and take this objective. So it's all sort of happening. Pretty good by Rich as well. I couldn't fit all the drones here, which is a little bit annoying. So if I wanted to charge here, I've got to literally do a 12-inch charge, which I don't think is going to happen.
You've done 2 12-inch charges today, though.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen when I need it, though. So yeah, so that's pretty much that at this stage. We're about to go into the psychic phase, which I might as well just quickly knock out now because it could be good for me. Psychic here. So smite goes off. How many wounds? 2. So he's dead.
Does he blow up? No.
So you can take this young fella back. There you go, that's all yours. Then the next thing that'll happen is smite with the Demon Prince. So he needs a 6 to go off. Goes off on a 6. Do you want to try and deny that?
I don't think I've got the range anymore. No.
Nope. So 3 wounds. So goodbye to
does
the...
he blow up? Let's
yeah,
blow
does
up.
he?
No.
Well, if he does, it'll kill your own tank.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to take you down with me.
Alright, now, Typhus. He is going to cast Miasma of Pestilence onto the Poxwalkers for the -1 to hit. Don't think that goes off. Need a 6, but I'll double check that. And then he's going to cast Putrescent Vitality, which does go off, so that's a +1 Strength Toughness.
Stop that.
No.
No, don't.
And there we go, that's the Psychic phase, onto the shooting phase. Okay, shooting phase complete. Stripped another 3 wounds off the Lehman Russ, and that was pretty much it. Oh no, these guys, only 3 were in range, killed 1 Ratling, so not too much going on in this turn, unfortunately. So, unless we go to turn 7, I don't think I'll get a tabling, but I think I should have the board control I need to sort of take this game. So, charges next. I'll quickly just charge Typhus into here. So, in, yes, you can...
I will overwatch you.
Watch me, yeah. And then I'll also charge in the blood drones. So I'll just see if the blood... Yeah, you get it, it's ready. Blood drones 3 inches, they won't be making it in.
Okay.
So, and then also the Demon Prince in over there. He's definitely in. Then we'll just sort out the Overwatch afterwards. So we'll see you in the fight phase. Okay, so end of the Death Guard turn 5, release the fight phase. We'll have to just come back for the morale when Richard's back. Over here, Typhus just killed 4, so he's absolutely smashed it there. Poxwalkers killed another 2, and the Poxwalkers lost 1. And then the Demon Prince also took out the Basilisk over there. So we're in a pretty commanding position at the moment. We're probably going to be holding 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives. Yeah, it's getting pretty interesting at the moment. So I'm keen to see what Rich does, but I'm pretty sure the Death Guard have this one in the bag. Because we've got 1, 2, 3 guaranteed objectives here, so it's pretty tough. So we'll see if even Rich wants to continue on.
So still got Death from Afar in play, got to kill something in Leigh's deployment zone from something in mine, so still in play here, but I've got just drew Defend Objective 4 and Chain of Commands that's issuing 3 to 5 orders. Can't do that, and we've got 1 Tank Commander left who can do 1, and Defend Objective 4, that is well and truly swamped by Dirty Cultists, so that ain't happening. See how we go with that one. Okay, we did some shooting, we took maybe 3 wounds more off the Plague Burster, he's on 2 wounds. 2 wounds off. Okay. I took a couple more wounds off this guy here, Mr. Typhus. Continue to be whittled down here, and as my guys die, more of these Poxwalkers come back. That's pretty much all I could do this turn.
So, Rich, you are the guest here. Do you want to roll to see if the game goes on?
Absolutely.
So here we go. The game goes on.
Ooh.
Turn 6. Death Guard.
Boom.
Alright, so we're going to recap the turn. It's not too much to report. Basically, a couple of wounds stripped off here, not much. It was mostly just off him, actually. Lost another guardsman over there, and the Ratlings are all gone. So I'm in the back lines, I'm holding Rich up. He'll just have his turn 6 now, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so my guardsman finally succumbed to the weight of the Poxwalkers. My primary psychic, who's still unbelievably left alive in 1 wound, has sought to smite Typhus and managed to do not that. And the tanks just withdrew out of combat, forcing him to charge me if we go to turn 7. So pretty much all over.
Let's roll it now. Let's see if we go turn 7. Yes, we do. Insult to injury. I'm sorry. Do you want to play it?
Yeah, go on.
All right, let's do it. All right. We'll see.
All right.
Good game.
Hold on, mate.
So yeah, ended up in a tabling, unfortunately for Richard in the Astra Militarum. So it was literally the very last thing I could have done, which was with the blood drones and their combat attacks from the actual blood flies themselves. 4 wounds left, managed to do 4 wounds on 2 failed saves because they got 2 damage a pop. So pretty lucky. So what did you think about the game?
It was a good game. Like I was really happy with the way elements of the army played. Like playing the Death Guard is really tough when you play it well. And Leigh's been playing this list for a while, so he knows what his strengths and weaknesses are. I keep fiddling a little bit with my list. I think maybe I probably should stick with something for a bit longer and try different variations of it. But I thought I'd try Ogres for the first time tonight. They weren't that effective. But a few things, if dice had gone the other way, would have been a bit more interesting. But I'm really happy with the Stormlord. He was awesome fun. Had some really cool moments. I did a lot of damage to Leigh at times, but the Death Guard just so resilient.
Yeah,
and, it was a good game.
Yeah, it's a tough list though. And like that Stormlord scared me as well in that game. So and he managed to really just pump out that Vulcan Mega Bolter with the 2 damage. You get a few wounds through it. It just annihilates what it touches. So you have to really start stripping it away and quick. And that's what I was trying to do, even with the negative ones to hit. God, it was tough, but I'm really happy with how this list performs. It's essentially, it can table, which is great, but it needs to go to sort of turn 6, 7 to get the tabling. But sort of at the end of that game, I held all the Eternal War missions. I maxed out on the Maelstrom, so I got 12, 8, and then that put me on 20, then 23 points essentially for Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Strike. So that's sort of the maximum points I think you can get in that if I've done it correctly. SN team, if you watch this and if I didn't do that correctly, let me know. But yeah, I think it'll do well. I'm curious to see how it goes up against some of the other lists that are going around. So I've actually got a game against Adrian Strath, who some of you guys may know, fantastic painter. Like, if you think I'm any good, he's much better than me. And his Thousand Sons, so I'm really keen to see how the Death Guard go against them. Really keen to see how they go against Eldar as well. I think Eldar can be really scary.
Very strong at the moment,
yeah. Yeah, and Knights, that's the other thing. Like, I'm actually not worried about Knights though.
Well, you proved tonight that a big unit on the board that can deal a lot of damage, you've still got the tools to deal with it because you're just so resilient. Yeah.
That's because I think that's when I got the board control. I can score objectives, and they don't really have much that can do that. So they essentially have to go for a tabling, and that's real hard to do against my list. So yeah, I'm actually feeling really, really confident with this. It's the first time I've actually gone to a tournament where I'm like, I feel like I can play the list. The list backs me, and there's not much I can't deal with. So most other times I go to a tournament, I'm like, as long as I don't face like Eldar, Drukhari, Harlequins, Knights, Space Marines, Tyranids, I think I should do alright. Or Guard, I think I should do alright. But yeah, this game now, it feels like I can do that. So yeah, Rich, thanks for coming on.
Oh mate, it was good.
Yeah, what are you going to bring next time?
Well, I want to bring my Flesh Tearers, which is probably my main army, my Blood Angels Flesh Tearers. So looking forward to getting them, maybe supported by a knight. We're going to paint it first, but see how we get on.
Get some slam captains in there.
Yeah, that's what I
Beautiful. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Keep watching. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like, because it makes Rick happy when he hears all the nice words. And we'll see you on the next report. Rich, thanks again.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All right, see you guys.